you say smell? Fine.
That's what I heard. Smell, and I was like, "Dang,
I don't know.
Canadians have
have
big noses."
Why did we keep inviting him back here? I don't understand why.
Because I smell good, man.
The Canadian?
It's that maple.
He's our northern brother.
He's our northern opposition now.
Ooh.
The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast,
is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days.
hosted by a group of best friends. If you'd like to find out more, visit Nerd Chat Media. The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast,
Is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days.
hosted by a group of best friends. If you'd like to find out more, visit nerdchatmedia.com.
This is Cortana. And remember, don't make a girl a promise if you know you can't keep it. As always, Spartans, see you online.
Oh, hello. Daddy D. Wally here, and welcome to The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast, Jose. Nope, that's not. You know, I want the other one, Jose.
Which you didn't tell me.
When Marge drinks the wine. Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, next time.
The other one. My name is Danny D. Wally. The Switch 2 is just a glorified Xbox One 12 years later. Joining me as always is Jose at Chipotle Bear. Where we dropping, boys? How are you?
I'm tired. That was my bad with the intro. Like I said, I'm just tired. And as my co-hosts tend to like to do, they join the show less than 3 minutes before the show and complain about some audio thing. And I'm not saying I don't have an audio thing. I'm saying that I need someone here to tell me because I can't hear it. You know the movie The Devil Wears Prada? Of course you do, because it's a great movie. I am Anne Hathaway.
Never seen it.
For those that have seen that movie,
I've never seen it either.
Dan is Glenn Close, right?
Catwoman
Chance is the
prequel.
best friend.
But you've seen Vanilla Sky.
Bacon is my husband. I'm Anne Hathaway. I'm just throwing that out there. Happy to be here. Happy Thursday, everyone.
Yeah, I watch good movies. Joining us as always, by the way, Jose was a psychopath, you guys. For some reason, he was here at 7 o'clock in this room, just hanging out. Who was here at 7 o'clock? Okay.
I am most weeks.
The producer who is setting up
7,
comments from
and
the
then
show.
Eric was here before me. We'll get to Eric in a second. Joining me as always is we had these features in 2003. X Bacon Gaming.
Well, I'm not lying. We did have chat in 2003. And we had achievements in 2003. We had paid online in 2003. Glad things aren't changing in video games. So let's do this.
And joining us as always, Bubba Boy N7 is a level 40 now.
I got it.
Dang. Oh, because he's old. I get it now. Go ahead. Go ahead there, Bubba Boy.
Yeah, excited to be here. I am level 40, as you can tell by my shirt, which is exciting. So excited to talk about things that happened back in 1993 tonight. Bacon said 2003. I thought it was 93. We'll get to the bottom of this. and let you
Xbox
guys-
One had party chat.
Who gave you that? But for our audio listeners, Chance has it says level 40 on it. He's got an NES controller on it. Chance,
It
who
also
gave you
says
that?
unlocked too, though, which is
Okay.
like mixing. We're crossing streams here because you can barely see the unlocked.
hate
Oh, level 40
all up.
unlocked.
Yeah.
Who gave you that?
My wife.
Okay, very nice.
She
Did
knows.
she make
laugh.
it or did she buy it?
Sorry, what?
Did she make it or buy it?
She bought it.
Oh, that's right.
And I don't ask me why. Making his return, Sony Pony #1 says, "Go Habs, go." Eric B, aka at Game Positive. How are you?
What an idiot.
I'm doing great. It's 3-1 halves. 3 minutes left. I'm behind a little bit though. Boston's probably gonna pull their goalie soon. Might be 4-1. Doing good.
Glad
All
you're a
right.
new hockey.
Keep in mind, this guy was the biggest basketball fan until that Canada versus USA exhibition game, and then all
Who
of a
won?
sudden
It was
he's
eggnog.
all in on the Canadian sport of hockey, as they call
Boston
it.
just
up
pulled their
there.
goalie.
Anyway, guys, we've got a big.
It's a happy time.
Did he just dab?
Can you see the H?
Shout out to Diego Primero. Yes, he did just dab. When he gets his hockey gear on, Diego, I don't know what happens. He just changes into a completely. Did you also notice, you guys, audio and video watchers? He's got this thick beard. He's like full in Canadian mode. It's very.
I should have got my check red and black.
I was just gonna say, where's the flannel?
Should I
He's
go
got.
get it? I can go
he-
get it.
He's got a. What is that? The. Is that
Canadians.
the?
This is a
Canadians.
baseball hat.
It's the Canadians.
That's
Yeah.
not a baseball hat.
Yes, he's all in, you guys. This is crazy,
Softball
but we do have so much news to get into, so I'm gonna skip shout outs and let's jump in to the Xbox/Nintendo news for the week. Jose,
News team, assemble!
get ready
Hot
for
take.
a hot take
Timestamp it.
as a news story number 1. Get ready to clip this, AI bot. I'm telling you right now, this is, J for juicy. Hot and juicy takes inbound. Here we go. News story number 1. Like Eric, I have made a list on the Nintendo Switch 2. The Nintendo Switch 2 is just a glorified Xbox One released 12 years later. To the list.
Turn him
Number
down.
1.
Jeez.
This is how you share digital games and digital game cards and digital libraries. Number 2, the Switch is bringing back a camera and mic, just like the Kinect. Number 3, Xbox Smart Glass is back. Smart Glass app is back in Zelda. We have an Xbox Smart Glass app. Number 4,
That's so true.
Xbox Snap. Eric brought this up on Secret Friends Unite yesterday. You have Xbox Snap for party chat and video Skype calls. Number 5, Mario Kart World is just Forza Horizon Kart. I can keep going. The Nintendo Switch 2 is just an Xbox One re-released, and everybody loves it, minus the price. So, back to the real news. The Nintendo Switch 2 has been announced. It is $450 US, Jose.
I was close.
And it is $500 paired up with Mario Kart. Everybody's freaking out and they're like, oh my God, it's so expensive. Guys, what did you expect? When you're getting a device similar to this Lenovo Legion Go,
Is it similar?
Oh, it ain't similar.
yes, it is.
The Legion's
Screen
better.
size wise, these, but that's another thing I forgot. The Legion Go had a mouse in the controller before the Nintendo Switch. Forgot to put that in there, that
Now
Nintendo
it's-
copy.
Now it's cool.
Steam
But
Deck.
exactly. But this device, if you're thinking that you were going to get similar performance to this PC handheld that can play Steam and Xbox games, what were you thinking? Of course, this device is going to be expensive. This is normally $600. I bought this with a coupon for $400 new. This was less than the new Switch. Or you can get an ROG Ally, maybe if you're lucky, for around $400. The new ROG Ally X, $700 if you're lucky. We don't know what the new Xbox is going to be, but guys, when you're packing in so much technology into a handheld that can supposedly do 4K 60 and 1080, 120 FPS, it's going to be expensive. Games, on the other hand, we'll get to that in a moment. But right off the bat, who here is going to be getting one day one? Raise your hand. A Nintendo Switch 2.
Really?
Jose and Eric have raised their hands.
Like half raised.
I'm a maybe. I was all in, Nintendo all in earlier, but then the more I found out after this presentation, I got a stinky Switch 2 problem, and it smells like caca.
For the
Eric,
Canadians, can you explain what caca is?
poo poo.
They don't have Mexicans in Canada?
No,
The Spanish language.
they do not get it. Captain Logan's all in. He's getting it. Todd Oxtra, that price made children cry. Yeah. By the way, I have a thread. I posted. I don't know if you guys saw it. My thread where I said the Switch presentation was perfectly acceptable. Game Pass exists. The prices are what they are. It's blowing up over there. People are not happy with me on Threads. Let me just say that right now. It is bad. So, guys, Chance, I'll throw it over to you because I feel like you don't care either way. What was your initial reaction to the Switch reveal? And I want a quick grade from you out of 10, just on the presentation.
Okay, presentation alone, 6.5 probably. Here I have some notes on there if you want to know. So one of the taglines from the direct, with the new online feature Game Chat, people can play games and talk like everyone is in the same room.
Whoa.
Even if they are miles apart,
Take up half your screen.
No way.
whether sharing a victory or just waving hello. Game Chat makes it feel like online friends around the world are on the same couch.
What a technology.
People, we have made it to the 21st century.
Dude.
Okay.
Older than
How cool is this? It's like I can't even imagine what this is going to be like. Like the next step might be we could talk to our friends on, like, I don't even know if there's a name for this, like a podcast that we record, and then other friends could listen to us. And if they had this, I don't know if they had this thing like called the internet, they could type in like if their name was Todd, and they could say, "Screw you, Daniel."
Wait. By the way, I need to share my Nintendo Switch friend code with Eric because he's been asking for. He's only got 3 friends on there, and he keeps asking me. I will get you the
Dude, you need a
70-digit
master's
code,
degree to figure out how to.
and I will share it with you as soon as possible, Eric. Okay.
So first of all, that was the first thing that I was like, even if Sony couldn't have survived that, Sony could never have survived something so idiotic and ridiculous and outdated and archaic as what they said there. Point number 2. New games for a new system. Like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Switch 2 edition.
I like how he's got like movements going on here. This
And
is
The
good.
Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom
Switch 2.
Switch 2 edition. I'm like,
Well, to be fair, Chance, I'm looking at the press release here on Nintendo. It does say Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza first.
sure did.
Okay.
Sure did. They named
Those
3. I think it
are
was 3 above it or 4 above it.
new games,
3, 4, 3,
brand
4,
new,
3.
and then it gets into Madden and Cyberpunk and
Great, awesome.
Mario Jamboree, which
I
is already
just-
out. Switch 2 edition. You're
and-
right. Sid
And
Meier.
awesome, cool, all that. Don't act like this is something remarkable or new or cool. The next thing they're going to say is like, you could play your games, wait for it, digitally. Wah!
Okay, so Chance clearly is not a fan of this.
But hold on, because Logan said they did that for PS5, though. What are you talking about? What did they do?
I think
They
somehow
announced
they brought games
Game
back
Chat?
from PS4.
Cool. And I know, and that it's.
Oh
a
yeah,
given.
and we complain.
To me,
Hey,
it's a-
Logan,
it's a
we
given
complain about
nowadays.
we complain about PlayStation and their remaster station all the time. So it's not like we don't give PlayStation a lot of crap about
game
the
share.
crap
The game share thing
that they're pulling.
Fine. What I'm talking about, if Sony, because Microsoft would have never survived the comment about new online features, and I'm saying even Sony wouldn't have been able to survive that. It was the dumbest thing I've read, and I live in America, so you know what reading politics is like.
Okay. Bacon, you've actually been pretty quiet about this as well. What would you rate the overall conference? You're not getting a Switch 2. You did not raise your hand, even though I was pretty sure beforehand you were all in. What changed for you?
I will get a Switch 2. I'm just not playing. I'm not playing the FOMO game like I did with the 5090. When they are readily available, I will buy a Switch 2. The conference itself, the presentation, I mean, 7. I always have a problem because and this is a problem I also have with Japanese games. When I get other people don't speak our language, but you can't tell me that Nintendo couldn't have got like the communications guy to stand up there and read things, so I don't have to read subtitles instead of watching what's going on the screen. I really wish they would stop doing that because I read terrible.
Is it really that hard to understand?
I read like a second grade level, so I got to really focus on the words, and I can't see what's going on the screen.
I watch everything in subtitles.
Are you really? Oh,
Yeah.
you're crazy.
It's a good reading strategy. It's like
all jokes aside, the price of this thing is absolutely ridiculous.
Why though? I got to stop you right there.
Well, I can't tell you what's under the hood of this thing because Nintendo didn't tell us one iota of spec.
Okay.
In this thing. We have no idea what DLS
I
is.
agree.
We have no idea what RAM it is. We have no if it's the Integra chip again.
I didn't like that
did
either.
They not release any specs for something they're asking people to put $500 down on.
their audience doesn't care.
I completely agree with you, Bacon. I think it's ridiculous
Sure.
they didn't have real specs there or real specs right after. And I think it was incredibly dumb that they didn't have the price there. Why didn't they share the price
Right.
during the conference?
Because they're scared of their
Can
price.
you imagine if, like you said, or Chance said, if Xbox or PlayStation had this reveal and didn't have a price? How insane would that be for anybody else? Why is it okay for Nintendo to pull this crap? That
'cause
was
it is.
anyway. Jose, you're more positive. You're pre-ordering one.
Well, I mean,
Tell me why.
I am just of the mindset that like whenever I don't like something, it doesn't bother me that it exists. Like that's where my mentality comes from. I'm not bothered by this. And I did say here's the thing. I'm going to try to get one on day one. Here's the reality is that probably long term I will want one for my children, for myself, for my wife, right? And they're going to be hard to get for a while, like Bacon said with the 5090 thing. Here's the reality. After doing research, after filling out all the paperwork, I don't think I'm going to get one. And here's why, not because they're hard to get, but because do you guys actually know what the rules are to be able to get one pre-ordered? Did you guys look that up?
Yeah, you have to have like a certain amount of playtime recently, right?
So there's 3 things for if you don't know, and shout out to Austin John Plays.
And that's what it was. You had to be a part of Nintendo Online for a certain amount of time too.
Well, you have to be the one who purchased Nintendo Online. So like your account is the only one that can buy one if you bought Nintendo Online ever. You also have to have an active Nintendo Online account for 12 months or more. So like, and really to be clear, this is for scalpers, right? They don't want someone to create all these fake accounts. And I'm not mad about that. I get it.
No.
And then the last thing is you also have to opt it in to share gameplay and have at least 50 total gameplay hours on that account on the Switch. Again, I don't have that. I have the 50 hours. I had the membership at one point, but I haven't played Switch in a really long time. And so I definitely don't have the past 12 months thing. And honestly, when I saw that, I was like, dang, that's a bummer, but okay. Because again, this really isn't my main world. And realistically, for the people that are the super diehard Nintendo people, I think it's kind of cool that they're actually trying to fight the scalpers, dude, because that is a huge issue. And here's the way I thought about it. Let's fast forward to whenever quote unquote Xbox dropped this handheld. If they had these requirements, I would crush these requirements for Xbox, right? The active account, the gameplay hours, the Xbox Game Pass stuff. Like, so I'm not opposed to that in terms of like trying something new. I do think it's a bummer that really the only way I'm going to get one now is if I go through a third-party reseller, which is fine, but that's where the scalpers are also going to go. So my odds are going to be even lower on that stuff. I mean, I've been talking about this. I talked about it with Victoria tonight. It came up at dinner with my family. They're asking about the Switch 2 launch and stuff. And the reality is we were talking in our chat all day. We can complain as much as we want. We can think that what they did is dumb. The bottom line, this thing's going to sell gangbusters. It's going to be sold out for months, dude. And it doesn't matter what the price is. People want this, adults, kids, Nintendo people, non-Nintendo people. I think what's interesting is I'm worried about the long game for Nintendo here, because as we're going to talk a little bit later, I'm curious what this means for the Xbox handheld. I'm curious what it means.
Dude,
for
I'm curious
potential
what this means
price.
for Xbox in general, Jose. If I were Xbox, I'd be like, holy crap. Like, can anything continue to keep going our way? Because it seems like a lot is going Xbox's way. And I know I would start to interrupt, but I was like, if they would have just waited a little bit, they have so much going with them with Game Pass, with games, with PlayStation having no games the past 2 years. Like, if I were Xbox, I'd be like, whoa, we're in a pretty good position right now. So sorry, go ahead, Jose.
No, well, that's exactly what I was getting at, Dan. So just the one thing I'll say, and then I'll pass it off to someone else, but just something to think about. So what does this mean for the handheld, just in terms of price, just price, right? Does it mean that if it comes in at $550, $600, that it's much more competitive? Because I guarantee you it'll be more powerful. And this is not me dunking on Nintendo. I'm sure that the performance of the Switch is fine. A lot of the early reviewers are saying it's actually more powerful than they thought. The 120 FPS and all that stuff. That's cool. But again, it will not compare to probably even the handhelds we have now, the Ally, the Legion Go, that kind of stuff. And so if you have the more power and you have the added thing like Xbox Game Pass, the Steam connection, potentially PlayStation games as well, that actually puts some other people in some really, really nice positions, which is interesting. Like, that's just not usually Nintendo is the bottom price player. So I think that's interesting.
The counterpoint would be, and this is what I think Todd and Logan and Ains would say, you can't play Mario Kart, you can't play Donkey Kong, and you can't play Kirby on your Switch or on your Legion
Kirby's
or your ROG Ally,
And that's fine. And you're right. That's why I said I also would, if I got one, let's just say magically I was able to get one, I probably would keep it for me. Worst case, I don't. I could sell it for a mint. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a scalper. Like, again, I'd probably keep it. I'm just saying, like, they're gonna make a ton of money, dude. It doesn't matter what we say about it. It's just gonna happen. Those are my thoughts.
Before I throw it over to Eric, because Eric, I know, has been conflicted with the dark side this entire saga.
Pretty angry, didn't
about whether or not he wants the Switch 2, but I already know he's going to get one because he's a Nintendo soy boy too. But I'll say this. The Switch 2 is this their Xbox One moment, Eric? Because if you look at the pricing for these things, and this is all US dollars, okay, Lord knows what it is in Canadian. It's like plus 200 on everything, huh? Switch 2, $449. Switch 2 with Mario Kart, $500. Mario Kart World, $80. Donkey Kong Bonanza, $70. Switch 2 Pro Controller. Shout out back paddles. Gotta love that. $80.
All free tariffs too, right?
Joy-Con 2, $90. Joy-Con 2 charging grip, $35. Joy-Con 2 strap, $13. Joy-Con 2 wheel, $20. Switch 2 camera, $50. Switch 2 dock, for some reason, if you had to get another one, $110. Carrying case, $35. All-in-one carrying case, $80. AC adapter, $30. Eric, like I said, you've been going through it with the Switch 2 launch. What would you rate the conference? And are you still going to get one day one with Soy Boy Todd and Ains?
Okay, so right quick, the whole you need to play X amount and do X amount or whatever to get one. That's just for the Nintendo. You can't hear me?
Oh no, I was gonna say you don't meet those criteria, right?
I probably do, but it's only for Nintendo, like
From
the
direct Nintendo. Yeah, not Best Buy and
that's
other places.
already going to be the worst place to buy one because their website sucks and it's going to crash instantly. You can still get it like a regular way through Walmart, Best Buy, GameStop. And people in the chat, if you actually want to get one, go to GameStop on the 9th when they open and pre-order one. It's not going to be that hard. If you want to get one online, then you're up against robots and stuff and it'd be harder. But you could get one if you wanted to.
I'd have to go to a GameStop.
Yeah, it's great. I go to one every week. It's
You go to one every week, Eric? You lucky dog.
Where do you think this
Where do you
comes
think
from,
that
bro?
comes from in the background, man?
Actually, you know what's funny, Eric? I just went to a GameStop just yesterday, actually, because Super Mario RPG was on sale for $20 if I went in store. So grab that for Grace.
That's disgusting. Just to answer your question about Canadian prices, it's $629 for the non-cart version and $699. They still.
How much is a PS5 Pro for you?
PS5 Pro's $959, but a PS5 with Astrobot and a disk drive is $579. A Steam Deck OLED 512 gig is $689.
How much is the Series X discless white Series X? Sorry,
$499, I think.
Canadian?
I think it's $599.
And it's still not selling there. Good God! Sorry, Xbox.
How much does 8 JBCs cost in Canada?
That's gonna be pretty expensive. It's gonna be like $4 times 8. Anyway, and there's some. Anyways, I don't want to get derailed on JVCs.
Why not?
That's
You're on the wrong podcast, then, sir.
in terms of the conference, so like we talk all the time in Discord or whatever, and I think I was probably, at least vocally, the most in support of the Switch 2, and I was
You
like,
were.
there was like nothing that they could do to like prevent me.
You were
from-
all in.
Yeah. And honestly, at the end of this conference, I wouldn't say I was like glazing it as much as some people are, but I think
Yeah.
it was probably a 7-ish. Like if Xbox last E3 was a 10, I would say this is like a 7-ish. Like I'm kind of with Bacon, but then after it's just like a bad news after bad news after bad news. It's just like
Yeah.
it's actually, I think it's really, really, really bad. At least for me, like, and what I'm looking for, the things I care about in gaming, it's just like almost everything they said in hindsight is horrible.
I agree.
Which like even like when they revealed the Duskbloods, I'm like, oh my god!
I know, I was
Miyazaki,
so hyped for that too.
And then I'm like, wait a minute, they literally just paid so that I can't play the next Miyazaki game at like a respectable frame rate and resolution.
Yeah.
I'm gonna own a PS5 Pro, a Series X, and a gaming PC, and the only way I'm gonna be able to play the next game from my favorite game developer, from my favorite game director, is at 30 FPS at like what 720p.
If you're lucky.
If I'm like that is
Upscaled
and
1080.
I have every Yakuza game ever released on PS4 and PS5, and this new one runs like ass on the Switch 2, and it's exclusive. Like that. Like I was hyped. Oh, Nintendo's gonna have third-party support now, and now they're blocking me from playing games at like good frame rates and resolution. So I wasn't expecting that. I have a whole list. I won't go through the whole list, but it's not good right now. The reason why I said I might get one, the only reason is because my Switch OLED is going to have diminishing returns.
Yeah, I heard you say about that.
Or
You're going to
trade it.
sell it. Yeah.
So anyone with a Switch, like since it's back compat and whatever, you're probably going to sell it. And the longer you wait, the worse, the worst value
That makes
you're gonna
sense.
get back from it.
But
And that's
what
literally the only thing, and that shouldn't be the only reason why I'm.
What
considering
about
it.
me in my position? I was planning to give it to Grayson, but I don't
No way
really
I would
have
want
to
one.
give it to him right now. He still has his Switch.
You should have
Lite.
already gave it to him. When's the last time you played Switch?
That's a great point. I really don't. I'm like, here's why. I was specifically waiting. I'm like, at this point, I can wait. I can enjoy Zelda Tears of the Kingdom at upscaled, better performance, better frame rates, play Metroid as well. And now I'm like, do I really need to get one just to play these Switch 1 games that I will be able to play right now on Switch and when Metroid Prime 4 comes? I'm struggling, Eric. Like you, the more I thought about it afterwards, like I have no problem. Unlike the internet, I have no problem with the price. Unlike Bacon, I think for $500, if it's going to be anywhere near an ROG Ally, or you keep saying that, we don't know, like you said, because they haven't released real specs yet. God forbid we actually know what's under the hood. Besides people playing, oh, I'm playing this at 30 FPS at this hands-on event right now. If it is anywhere near this device, I think that's fairly priced. Games. We haven't even brought up the game prices yet.
I was gonna
At the
say it.
same time, I like I said in my tweet, it is what it is. If you have such a problem with $80 games, don't buy it. And in all fairness, like this is where we're going. I strongly feel like these games were going to get more expensive. We've been hearing it from Sean Layden. We've been hearing it from Phil Spencer. We've been hearing it from everybody how these games are getting more and more expensive to make. What were people expecting? And then we complain about, oh, that's Game Pass trash. That's Game Pass filler. Game Pass is looking pretty freaking awesome right now. And it looks amazing this year. And if it could,
Absolutely right.
if it can maintain that price, which Lord knows if it will, but like, I'm sorry, you can complain all you want. I'm not going to be able to play Mario Kart World on an Xbox or on a PlayStation. Well, then I guess you're paying. Sorry. If you want to play other games, get an Xbox. God forbid somebody buy a freaking Xbox and play games at a reasonable rate, okay? So we've been dogging Nintendo for a while now. Before we get into some of the games that were announced, joining us,
Exclusive world premiere.
oh my gosh, he really is Nintendo soy boy, guys. Nintendo representative Captain Logan has joined the show. Logan,
Ahoy.
come defend the Nintendo Switch 2 because it's getting just piled on right now. Again, I'm just like, it is what it is. If you want to play it, pay your hundreds of dollars. I'm not there. So go ahead.
First off, thanks for letting me jump in from chat. Appreciate it. Love to see you guys again. I love this presentation. I thought this presentation
Loved
was
it?
fantastic. Yeah, I did. I loved it. You know why? Because Nintendo does the thing that we want, and we're gonna give them shit for that. This
Wait.
Nintendo Switch.
We want them to
Wait.
charge for packing games.
Define what we want.
What
And that
we
the-
want is a
I'm very
better
curious.
Switch. We want a Switch
True.
that doesn't lag, that has a better screen, that's bigger, has a better battery, can do 4K.
Wait.
on the
Wait.
TV.
Where are the
Did you see
specs?
Elden Ring running at
Where are the
25
specs?
FPS?
Where's the
They told me
battery?
with the specs. They said the specs are going to be 4K. They say the screen can do 120. What do I care what the specs are? It says it's going to do that. So if it does that, then I'm okay with it. Who cares what the hardware says?
It says it's gonna do it for one game. One
It
game.
doesn't
that's a
matter if
Switch
it's one game. If it's the one game that I want to play, then I'm cool. That's why I buy a big PC. If I want a big PC to have the big frames and all that stuff, then I'm going to be fine with that. If I want my Nintendo game to have better resolution and no choppiness when I'm running through Hyrule Fields,
That's not choppy.
that's what I'm going to get. That's what they said they were going to give me.
They're going
So-
to give you the ability to play the old Zelda game at a good rate, and then when the new one comes out, you have to wait for the Switch 3 to play that at 60.
You're speculating at this point. I can't talk about that. You come at me with hard facts.
Like,
But
who
I-
buys the Switch to play a
My,
Soul
one hard
game?
fact I just want to get out quick. I'm not the price of the console's not my problem. Just for the record, that's not my problem. It is
I agree.
expensive, but that's not why I that if that was the only thing I would be pre-ordering, no questions.
See, and I think the issue that I have is that I'm not even talking about price. I'm just talking purely about what the console is offering. They told us it was going to run better. They told us that it was going to have better resolution. It was going to have a big internal battery. They were going to upscale it for TVs. They were going to make it bigger for us. They were going to add features and stuff like that. They were going to bring voice chat for the first time in Nintendo's history.
Yeah.
And we're giving them shit for it?
Makes me wonder what's in that dock.
Well, for the record, again, I was not giving them shit for any of those things.
Who I was,
I-
and
okay.
I'll jump in here because I
We'll
like.
talk- yeah.
I think the problem that I have with it is, and you're right, because I agree with you from the standpoint of
Whoa,
we
whoa,
have
whoa, whoa,
this-
Bubble Boy! I got to cut you off about this boring
Oh my God.
chat. I got to cut you off
Oh
about
my
this
God.
boring Nintendo bringing voice chat thing. I have a special announcement, Jose. A special
Right?
breaking news, Jose.
Exclusive world premiere.
Earlier tonight, we were at our elementary school for a raffle giveaway, and we just found out we won a
Nintendo
giant,
Switch 2?
no, a giant thing of cool toys. So Grayson won. Here's just a few of them. Grayson, show him what we got here. He won this cool Nerf ball. This, this
there you
looks
go.
like a pickleball set. Water
Nice.
balloons, more water balloons, guys.
Oh,
there's a
God.
giant cart of toys and trinkets upstairs. I just had to shout out Grayson. He
Awesome.
won.
Nice work,
Special moment for us.
The boy Grayson.
Out of 500 entries, Grayson won. So we're very excited over here. Sorry, go ahead, bring
Play of
Bubble
the
Boy.
game.
You nice.
Win the lottery so you can afford a Switch too.
Exactly. And Bubble Boy, bring us home with how cool it is that Nintendo's bringing chat that will
Yeah,
bring
so-
your game down to 15 frames per second when you run those for
And
the
it's-
player.
it's
the
because
Discord.
the hypocrisy of it, and this is not even Nintendo's fault, Logan. Hear me out. The
Mhm.
hypocrisy of the reaction to it, right? Of like, yes, this is the greatest. But that'd be like if Xbox was like, we're bringing back Connect, people. Everybody would be like, yeah.
No,
Microsoft
that's not a good
going down.
equation to it. It would be like if Xbox decided that they were going to start having GPUs as powerful as the stuff you can buy for PC. Like they're bringing features that Nintendo fans have never had, not stuff that Xbox tried and failed at, and Xbox brought back for another try.
Never had, but should have had.
Should have had. doesn't-
Yeah, I agree. Never had. They did have Logan. They had it in a phone. They made you use a phone for
chat.
voice
They
chat.
never had it in a console.
Pick your chat.
But why is it
never had
okay
it.
for Nintendo to get away with crap that every other console's been
do you
doing
mean
for
get away?
a decade?
Because that's where that's what it is. I mean, it's their company. They don't have to play by other people's rules. How many times have we been talking about how Nintendo stayed in business for so long? Because even on their flops, they still got enough cash to keep them above water. Imagine if Xbox had another failure after the Xbox One. You think that Microsoft would bail them out with that money?
They did. It's called the Xbox Series X and
it
S.
is.
I'm talking
It
about
did
after the
every
Xbox
time.
One. I'm talking like if the Xbox Series was a failure, do you think Microsoft would have bailed them?
Well, isn't the
Logan,
Xbox Series doing worse?
Are
than
you?
the
Would you
Xbox
say
One?
the Series X and S is a success right now?
I would say it's more of a success than the Xbox One.
I mean,
they've been down
hardware-wise,
hardware.
yes, this is Xbox Microsoft's best piece of hardware, absolutely. But
sales-wise.
sales-wise,
Sales wise,
Sales.
right? But in the Mindscape, are they doing better than they were than the Xbox One? Are the sales doing better than the Xbox One?
No,
No.
they've been
No.
like quarterly losses for like 9 straight quarters.
Are they? But are
Sony
they selling more
fanboy.
units than actual like
No.
Xbox One
No.
units?
they're behind the Xbox One.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
behind.
Well, in that case, I'm wrong. Sorry.
All right.
I don't
See you
know.
later.
Software is up a lot though, like obviously, and services.
Yes. Okay. But
So it's not a
anyway,
failure. But hardware.
Continue. So they bring voice chat. Continue, Logan.
No chances. I want to hear.
Yeah, no, and I just it's that like because you're right when you say all those things about how great they are. Imagine if they had done this before. Imagine if they listened to their players earlier. Everything you still said would be true. Everything you said about how like successful they've been would still be true if they offered some discounts every now and then. If
Had their
they
games on
had
sale.
if they had voice chat sooner, if they had a better system for adding friends and stuff sooner. There's no reason it needs to be that hard.
That's a great point. Why don't they have achievements? And then Logan,
Because that's not their bag. That's never been their bag. They've been the most protective company when it comes to people communicating with each other than any other company out there. How many times do you get called weird stuff on Xbox Live when you're playing Call of Duty or something?
Never.
I mute
Right now.
everybody.
Yeah, not very much.
I mean,
but,
this
here's why that doesn't happen on Switch, Logan, because nobody has their phone open in their apps and there's no communication on the Switch.
Yeah.
You don't think that's going to happen now with the new cool Discord on Switch?
You have to be friends to be able to actually communicate with each other. Like you have to be friended to each other.
So in Call of Duty, nobody's going to be able to talk to each other when they're dropping with randos in Warzone.
I mean, Fortnite was able to do it on the Switch, so it's not outside the realm of possibility.
Okay, Eric, thank you for raising your hand. What would you like to ask Logan here?
I'm not necessarily asking a question. I'm just like adding a little bit of clarification. I think that like most of what Logan's saying is correct. I think the problem that Bubble Boy has is that the way that Nintendo goes about presenting these new features is as if they were like
Yes.
these
Groundbreaking.
revolutionary new innovations when they probably should have maybe like a little bit of I don't want to say humility, but just like maybe presented as now we have these things. This is good because it is good that they have these things. But when they present it as like we reinvented the wheel here,
Exactly.
we're doing all this new that then it feels a little bit weird because yes, we are not Switch only customers, but we are Switch customers. Like we are their customers. Even
Correct.
we know that this stuff is like old technology that they're catching up on, which is good. It is good that they have it. But when you present it as if it's like Apple kind of like we have
Yes.
like AI now.
Yeah.
And now it's like okay, well Android had AI like
First of all, how dare you?
I mean, I think I don't disagree with the perspective that they're
Shout out, Todd.
talking to, but when they are presenting to this, they have to present it in the most marketable way possible. So of course they're going to come out and say this is the best thing we've ever done because it is the best thing they ever done. Is it the best thing that the industry has ever done? No, but they're not going to talk to that because it's their Nintendo show.
And to that point, I know that we are customers of like the bigger thing, but there are a lot of people that are only Nintendo customers. And so to them, to those people that hear this new Switch has these features, that is what they want to hear. I know that's not what we would. I'm just saying, I'm
No,
playing devil's
but
advocate. They want it.
It made me think when Eric was talking about it, it made me think, I bet, because I had a Switch for what, 2-3 years maybe. I bet I spent more money. I gave more money to Nintendo and put more money into that ecosystem than the average Switch person who they are catering to right now, than the average child who isn't doing it. I plunked all kinds of money into that thing. And like, does that make my investment not as important as theirs?
Yes. I'm just kidding.
All right
I
then.
don't-
Let's
I don't think
go.
it's Oh,
Go ahead,
sorry.
go ahead,
I,
go ahead,
I was just going to say, I don't think it's necessarily about who's spending the most money or not spending the most money, because we don't know like how many people are spending much or spending money on like the gotcha games that Nintendo has on all those, or all the asset flip games and stuff. There's a lot of money being made on there, but I think the goal of what Nintendo is trying to do is showcase what they know is already behind the 8 ball when it comes to other consoles and stuff like that as the best they can. They can't come out here and just, bow and say, we're sorry it took us this long to get voice chat. We know we suck. Because that's not a
could.
good. That's,
I could- I would
who's
respect
a marketing
the hell out of
person
that.
is
I
gonna
think there's
say,
a
like,
middle ground between like destroying themselves and pretending they invented
Or
game
lean
chat.
into it, right? Like make
They've-
it something that's hilarious.
Nintendo
And
wouldn't do that. They're just that's
I
not
mean,
their DNA.
they have done stuff like that. They have leaned into the camp when it comes to that kind of thing. But I think the point being is that they are doing it. They're doing it their way, and it does eke of a lot of stuff that we saw with the Xbox One. But it is still unique to what they're doing, and they're going to do it their way. They're always going to present themselves as the best when it comes to doing this for their customers on their hardware, because that's what they can actually speak to. It's like the people that have world's best coffee on their coffee shop in New York. It's not the world's best coffee, but they're going to present it as like the world's best coffee.
I guess, Logan, I have a question for you. Is can you at least understand or see why this presentation would be frustrating for fans?
Presentation.
Correct. I mean, the price, we haven't really talked about the price. I expected at least 400. I mean, 450, 500, pretty steep. Most people who were buying Switches before, 350 or 200 or somewhere in between there. This is a big jump. Okay. And then the games, I'm seeing a lot of hatred for the $80 price point. So Go ahead.
From the cost perspective, 100%. I totally understand where Nintendo fans are coming from, because they have been paying $60 for a long time. Their first introduction to $70 was Tears of the Kingdom, and that was already like, why are we paying this much? So I totally get it from a console perspective. That's why I was rooting for Nintendo to actually do the $300 like console, to stay in that market. I didn't need them to do like anything too major. If they wanted to do a console that was less powerful and still kept it in that 300 market, then it would appeal to kids. It would appeal to parents trying to get stuff for their kids. They're getting close to pushing themselves out of the child market. I think they realize that's what they need to do, but it's leaving behind an entire like demographic, and I don't like that.
Yeah, I mean, 450, that's a Series X digital, that's a PS5 digital, and 500 is exactly the same as a PS5 and a Series X. So they are right in line now with these major consoles, and they're charging more for games.
And a lot of other things. Like game chat cost, you had to subscribe to.
Yeah, but at least Nintendo Online, as far as I don't know if they jacked up the price of that. I mean, did they?
If Xbox
That-
charged $50
haven't.
a year to do party chat, do you think everybody would be like, it's only $50?
I didn't know Party Chat was free. I'll be perfectly honest, but I've always had Xbox Live. I've got
It's been free since
no
360.
no big deal. I've got 20 for my years of service on Xbox. I feel old as caca, but I do have a 20-year service. Guys, let's stop talking about the price, and we don't know what's going on with the tech. Let's focus back on to the games. What stood out to you? Who wants to share with the big game that got them super pumped? Like Eric was saying, I'll go first. My favorite was the From Software game. I knew as soon as it started. I told you guys, and I was like driving to work and texting in my car. Don't do that, kids. Don't do that. When I was listening to Kind of Funny react to it, and I knew as soon as that weird music and that voice hit, I'm like, oh my god, they have a From Software game. I knew it immediately because it's always vague and strange, and there's always some female character talking to you about sacrificing your soul or something like that. Blown away. But then, like Eric said, once I found out it was PvPvE, I'm like, oh, this isn't even like a traditional Souls game. Anyway, that was the one that stood out to me. I'll be one of the only people who doesn't care about Mario Kart. I liked Mario Kart, but I played Mario Kart 8, played it with Grace a little bit. And I'm like, it's just not for me. So really the only Switch 2 games I'm excited for would be, what is it, Dustblood, right? Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
the Dust
Yeah.
Bloods and the newer versions of Tears of the Kingdom and Metroid Prime 4. Bacon, did anything stand out to you?
Donkey Kong always appealed.
Really?
To me. I can't pay $70 to play Kirby, man. I remember playing Kirby when I was like,
The
Forgotten
Kirby one
Worlds is
was
pretty good.
weird to me. Why are we releasing 2 racing like games
Yeah.
within months? Right? Am I understanding?
I
this
think it's
correctly?
because Sakurai wanted to do it, and you can't really say no. to him.
Sakurai does whatever he wants. Yeah.
Okay.
but I honestly can't think of
He's
anyone
like
who's buying.
Kojima for Nintendo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I can't think of anyone who's buying a Switch to play a Souls game at 35 frames a second.
Oh,
Like, I don't understand why Nintendo went out and grabbed an exclusive Souls game.
It is shocking.
It is befuddling. I'll play Mario Kart. I love Mario Kart, man.
Really?
I played that when I was a kid, like no one's business, bruh. Not
That's
a
about
bunch. Yeah, there's not a bunch there for me, but I'm gonna buy a Switch to play the old catalog in the Nintendo Switch Online,
Yeah.
so I can play Mario Brothers 3 on a plane. Like, what the hell is wrong with me? I will never buy a third-party game on Switch. That will never happen. I promise you that.
Bacon,
Bubble
you can do
Boy?
that on your ally, just so, you know.
So if
Bubble Boy, will you be playing Final Fantasy VII? We haven't even talked about this. Coming
on
to the
Xbox.
Switch, not on Xbox. Bubble Boy, that's got your name written all over it.
that makes sense. That's where those games started. I'm perfectly okay with
Yeah.
that. What I was gonna say was this Hitman World Assassination Signature Edition, and depending on how much it costs,
Really?
because it's everything. It's 1, 2, 3.
Is that, don't we already have that?
including main campaign, contracts mode, escalations, and more. It's all of it. And that game was I think underrated probably isn't the right thing to say because it was very well received. But that game still holds up. It's incredible, and to get all that in one package, I hope it's not 80. It shouldn't be 80. I think when all that stuff goes on sale on like a Steam sale, you can get it all for like
Yeah.
35, 40. But
Uh,
if I was getting a Switch 2, this would be part of what I buy.
Silken, it said, all this talk and nobody mentions Silk Song. Huge L for the nerd chat, LOL. I still don't believe that game's real. I mean, it was in the little reel of games. That proves that Nintendo's, it was like, yeah, sure, you're coming out this year. And besides, we all know we're going to be playing that on Game Pass on Xbox. So,
Quick question,
Jose,
Dan. Are you going to
What?
go for the 1,000 out of 1,000 on Elden Ring Tarnished Edition?
no, because they don't have achievements, and I will not be getting Elden Ring Tarnished Edition. I think it's cool that they're getting that. I would have been satisfied with that alone. I'm still shocked that the Dusk Bloods are I
Is
absolutely
the
blown
Tarnished
away.
just it comes with Erdtree?
Yeah.
And maybe like, is there gonna be like new costumes or something like that? Or
Mario
maybe,
outfit.
Jose,
Ride around on Yoshi.
You can already make the Mario outfit, yeah.
anything stand out to you?
I mean, honestly, man, mine are the classic ones. Like the Mario Kart was my big one. That my kids actively play Mario
Really?
Kart all the time.
Yeah,
Like,
Grayson
all the
plays it
time.
a lot.
And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, that was one of my big impetuses for even trying to get one. Is like, again, I've talked about before that we do swimming in the summer. That's like their summer activity, and I cannot tell you the number of times the kids have Switches and they're playing stuff. And like, I'm sure at some point kids will have a Switch too. And like, I just
Jose,
want to be
right?
that dad that like our kid
On
has a
that
Switch
point,
too.
all those kids have Switches. Do you think all those kids are going to be buying Switch 2s at $500?
I think a lot of them will try to buy it. I mean, here's the thing, and I want to be careful here because again, we always talk about the show that like we are at a certain phase of our life that we're not as worried about things like financial stability because like we're 40, right? Like we've worked pretty hard for a long time to be able to, like I can buy a Switch if I want to. Where when I was 20, I would not even, this wouldn't even a question. The answer is no, right? So what I would say is that I do think that a lot of parents
Shout
will
out
want it.
Gentle
Now here,
Stone.
what's interesting is they don't follow this stuff like I do. So like they hear, oh, there's a Switch 2, Bobby, let's go get you a Switch 2, and they show up at GameStop $450. That's an
Yeah.
interesting conversation. And what I think is more interesting is like we've heard over and over and over again that kids want PCs, kids want PC gaming.
It's time to upgrade your RAM from 8
When you
gigs to
start
16,
hitting
Jose.
450, like that is a much closer ceiling to like a low end PC. You know what I'm saying? For kids, it's not portable, right? If you're talking like a tower, but again, talking about a refurbished Ally, talking about a refurbished Leave and Go, like you right now on Facebook, you can find an Ally for $350, right? That's $100 cheaper than this device. Now, granted, battery's worse and that kind of stuff. You don't get Mario, I get it. But interesting thing. Anyway, back to the question at hand. Mario Kart and Donkey Kong were the two biggest ones for me. I love those characters, dude. I've loved them since I was a little kid. I'm sure they're going to be super fun games. We'll see what happens, man.
I want to shout out De Niro Primero's comment over here because I forgot to mention this right off that. I am shocked at this as well, De Niro. No Xbox showing at the Switch event. Only Tony Hawk. And they should have showed Hi-Fi Rush. I'm blown away that Xbox was not here, with not some sort of presence. And Eric, before I throw over to you, I know you kind of talked about this. Xbox is all about, hey, we're bringing our games to other platforms. Were you as shocked as I was that they were not at all, a zero basically at this conference?
Yeah, no, I definitely expected them to be there at some degree. I know there was like some rampant, like insane speculation, like, oh, Game Pass coming and hey, MCC, and that the whole show's just going to be Xbox games. I didn't think that, but you know, I thought there would be like
Hi-Fi Rush is
something.
a great one.
Hi-Fi Rush would have been perfect. Like that fits perfectly with the audience that the Switch usually like has, and it's like kid friendly, animated. Yeah, that would have been perfect. And I think there's a lot of I think that game is so good, dude. I think it got done dirty a little bit. And
I agree.
If you can find new audiences in different places, like I'm 100% for that. In terms of games that stood out, honestly, like. I think Nintendo makes amazing games. Like I think they're very, very, very good at making video games, and
they make great gameplay, right, Eric? Unlike Final Fantasy 16, which is just a movie and not a game. They let you play games.
Yes,
on Nintendo.
I agree with that 100%. But they also do have a few games that also have really good stories too. I don't want to sell them short. But other than like maybe like the wheelchair basketball game didn't appeal to me too much. The Pac-In game being costing money. Like as soon as I saw that, I thought Astrobot. I thought it was so cool, and then they said paid, and I was like, I'm done. Other than those two things, pretty much everything else they shown was awesome looking. Some of the third-party stuff obviously looked choppy. It's a lower-end device that can finally kind of play these games, but like everything that Nintendo's made looks amazing. And super shout out, we haven't mentioned it yet, but the GameCube emulation is part of NSO. Like,
I got a problem with that. I want Wind Waker HD remake. I don't want to play the GameCube version. I think that's so
would
dumb.
buy it. I don't think that it being here though prevents them from doing that.
I agree.
But I would have loved to see that for sure.
Yeah.
And Twilight Princess.
Those would be locks. Let's pray that those just come later down the road. Logan, you are getting it day one. You've got your pre-orders in for 2. Tell me the games you're getting day one.
Dude, first off, all 3 of the games that they showed were amazing. The third-party support coming in was actually pretty good, and the fact that they're getting a Bloodborne 2 was surprising, even though I don't care about it. I'm really glad that folks are going to have to experience that on Nintendo Switch, and really...
That'll be great.
It's going to be great, because then we just need to get one for Xbox. We just need to get some Bloodborne 3 on Xbox as an exclusive, and then we'll have like the trifecta.
That'd be
I
amazing.
mean, didn't Sekiro start that way, or am I way off? I thought Sekiro started just on Xbox.
Bloodborne was like the
No,
only
no.
exclusive they've
Why did
done.
I think
No.
that?
And Demon Souls.
Yeah.
Xbox has not had an
Demon's Souls.
exclusive from software game.
I will say that Shin Megami Tensei 5 was exclusive to Switch, and a lot of people complained about that, and it did come to everything in like 2 years. So I probably will.
Yeah,
wait
Eric
at
was
least 2
saying
years.
that we're going to get this. I don't know, dude. We never got Bloodborne anywhere else. So what makes you think Duskbloods is going to go anywhere else? I don't know. I just agree.
Bloodborne was
Depends on the publisher.
pre Elden Ring though, dude. Is a different time.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I tell
It's
you
pretty Dark Souls
though, that is going to be a system seller for people.
I agree.
That will be a
I
system
agree.
seller. So money
Out
dropping
of all of them?
yeah. Nintendo dropping the bag in front of FromSoft and saying, "Hey, we need an exclusive." And they take the bag and they make that bag and they make it a Bloodborne 2. That's a guaranteed system seller right there. I am going to be there for Mario Kart and Donkey Kong and Metroid, because honestly, like, I love Odyssey from Super Mario, and the team, if that's the team doing Donkey Kong, dude, that game looks so good this weekend, or this week, or today actually, I guess, because they were doing the Nintendo Tree Life and stuff. So watching those, hands down, I'm absolutely going to be in there. And the GameCube emulation is going to be really nice. They've already confirmed that Sunshine is going to be added to that. So you've got that Mario All-Star collection that they put out for 6 months that, I had concerns like we would never see like Super Mario 64 added to the N64 because they were going to sell it through the All-Star collection. I have the same concerns with Wind Waker HD and Zelda Twilight Princess HD never coming. I think they could do that in the future. I think they're probably going to do the Ocarina of Time remake first and then bring up Wind Waker and Twilight Princess as like a trilogy maybe, and then they'll have like an all-star for the Zelda series. I think that would be fantastic. I'm making Bacon yawn here. He is completely bored.
I'm a tired guy.
He's just over it.
He's over it.
Just seeking it out for Dansk over here.
Oh gosh. Guys, any closing thoughts here on the Switch 2 Direct?
How about the fact that these games are not going to come on the freaking cartridge?
Yeah, we didn't even
are.
really talk about
They
that.
are.
No, they're
Yes.
not.
Cyberpunk is already confirmed. They're
That's
gonna be
one.
shipping with a 20. Yeah, and so is Donkey Kong.
But there are also ones like, isn't Bravely Default like for some reason
Bravely-
not?
So some will say on the box just the game code key. Is that different from what Nintendo's doing right now? No.
It's not different from what Xbox or PlayStation do because that's
How's
essentially
Eric
what you're
gonna
doing.
play it?
They're at
game.
least telling you. They're at least telling you before you buy that game, this is just a key. So you have that knowledge going forward. You don't have to think about that anymore.
There is a difference. I can
Eric, why is there a
explain it if you
difference? Explain.
So with Xbox and PlayStation, they are all shipping on the same Blu-ray disc, and whether the game fits on it or not, whether they want to do online required or not, it's the same cost to print the disc. With Nintendo, the cost varies depending on how big the game is. It can be a 16 gig card, 32 gig, 64, whatever.
They're saving
What's
money.
going to happen is publishers are going to be like, does our game fit on the 16 gig? No, then we're doing key card because we don't want to pay the extra for the 32 or the 64 or whatever. Some publishers will, like CD
Yep.
Projekt Red, they're based as hell. They know that people want the game on the cart. They're going to do that. But Bravely Default, that game's probably like 10 gigs, 15 gigs. They don't want to pay for that thing. Nintendo's going to
Interesting.
provide them with the cheaper
Based
option.
Eric coming in
Yeah.
with the hot facts.
I will say though, I think that because Nintendo isn't going to charge themselves for the card, like Nintendo owns the proprietary whatever that's part of their model. They're part of their business model is they make money when people like print Switch cards or 64 cards or mini GameCube discs or whatever, right? So that's part of their revenue stream, and obviously they don't charge themselves like a profit to do that. So their games will probably, for the most part, unless like the next Zelda's like a 100 gig game, that most of their games will probably be games on carts. But this game key cart thing is really going to start flipping publishers into not putting their games on the cart.
And it's going to flip us to all being digital libraries. Am I right?
That's no different than what they have been doing, though. This is no different than the Switch One thing. Like, how many
It
games?
is
Like,
different.
when you buy,
I just explained it.
No, because they're doing that right now. This has
But it's
been
going to incentivize people to do it way more than before.
no, it isn't. 'Cause
The
they're
Yes, it
cost
is. You know
way
why it
more.
is, Logan? Because these games are going to be so much bigger if these 4K assets. There's no way you're going to get these games on the carts.
I'm saying that that is going on with the Switch One right now. Like, if you buy Resident Evil 7, you don't get the game. You don't even get you just get to stream it.
True, but that's because Resident Evil was one of the rare games that was massive for those original.
Okay, so the fact that they
the
have
size
been
of
doing this,
HD.
I'm saying it's going to proliferate way more because of this. This gives publishers a path to do it way more.
they already have that
incentivizes them.
path.
But they
Nothing
don't
has
do-
changed.
Trust me, you're going to see.
Agree to disagree. Erroneous on both accounts. We're going to have to figure this out later. Let's move on, guys, to news. Actually, we're going to do some quick shout outs. Then we're going to jump into South of Midnight. Jose, let's move on to late nerd chat shout outs. Shout out, and this was on our Verdansk returning to Xbox. We're gonna drop right after this. Ashes to Ashes said, "That was me. I was the 360 MLG no scope from the top of the tower." So Ashes must be pretty good at Call of Duty Warzone. And Coach Goose said, "Amen, Bacon. That's why I'll never play that lame game. Boo earns. Boo earns. Bacon." Sorry, he's not a fan.
saying boo.
Not a fan of Verdansk. And how about how hard it is to play Xbox games on PC short? And Dawson Almond Clark said, "It looks like it's a storefront, and that's why it's so confusing." I don't get it either. Steam isn't the best looking UI or storefront either. So I don't quite understand that. And the best of TikTok, Jose pulled these at his hairiness said, "Bro, if you're gonna loot." His hairiness said, "Bro, if you're gonna loot for 30 minutes, you're gonna have a hard time playing Warzone, my guy." And Joey G4 President sounds like a skill issue about Nicki Minaj killing Bacon all the time. And shout out to Big Box 1431.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Nerd Chat. Do you now apologize for the way you treated the manna from heaven? Is that supposed to be that? Or is he supposed to be
That's correct. Manna from heaven. Yep.
known as Wildgate? Did Travis put you back on the path of redemption and righteousness? Do you now bow at the altar of Moonshot Studios as I do? As we all do? Renounce Battlefield 16 or whatever widget sequel the new one is and join us. Join us in the Reach. And a Mike Morhaime, we pray. Big Box. Logan, do you know what the hell he's talking about? Because I have no
I
idea.
know who Mark Morhaime is. He's the former president for Blizzard, who's got that new game coming out.
Okay, so this is the one that Big Box is talking. Shout out to Big Box. No, sorry, Big Box. I'm still all aboard the Battlefield train. We're gonna actually talk about Battlefield later. I've been having a blast. Jose and I have been killing it. Been playing with Jaga 16, our new friend over there, because none of you jabronis want to play Battlefield with us. So
I don't own that game.
You do
It's
on
like
Game Pass.
basically
it's on
free.
Game Pass.
It's on Game Pass, bud.
So there you go. No excuses. Shout out Big Box. I'm sorry. These guys don't care about.
Gary.
They don't care about Wildgate. No, Jose's lying. He's just saying that's being honest. So
here's what- if you didn't listen to that segment, it is a good segment to go listen to Season Gaming. But here's what I would say: is good old TJ North, Travis, Ty Guy Travis. He was big on it, but Travis also likes games.
wait. I got to interrupt you right there, Jose, about Season Gaming.
Yeah.
Ains, what's up with you uploading the audio form? It comes like 7 days later. I can't, I like Jose just said, if you listen to Season Gaming, no, it just came out today. Let's get on top of that, Ains. Okay.
I
Get
listen-
it published the next day.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Brought
Jose.
that up in 2020.
Thank you.
He's
Is
like
it-
the Nintendo Switch of.
I think
Podcast,
Travis plays so
yeah.
many games that he only wants ones that are different, and so he likes things that are just different.
Like Concord.
I mean, I'm not. I've never played Concord. I'm not even started that argument. I think the game looks cool at Big Box. I said that last week. I just don't know enough about it. I need to see more about it. And as always, if none of my friends play it, it's a lot hard to play, like, to enjoy it, because you need those when you play those multiplayer games. You need friends. That's all I need to say. Next stop.
Shout out to Mariano Pampa. He is in the chat. He is here. His Thursdays are brutal for him. He's delivering those packages. Yes, Jose. Finals. You need to get a squad. There's other game modes now that you can play with more than 3 people. Pumps, we were about to play finals, but Ains is like, oh, just be careful. It's a really skill-based game. It's not like other shooters. Talking like we can't play video games competently. So I don't know if I want to play finals now.
I have the lowest skills, and I played it great. It was fun.
Verdansk is back. Got to jump into Warzone. Jose and I have been killing on Battlefield. Got every achievement on Steam. You know what? Maybe I'm going to say that. By the way, I'll save it for what we've been playing. Guys, let's jump into what have we been playing and
Midnight at all?
or watching. If you'd let me finish, Bacon, we've got 2 people who have been playing South of Midnight and have released reviews on the game so we can get some quick impressions, no spoilers. I can't wait to play it. I thought about buying the early access, but Verdansk, it's dropping tonight, so I'm just gonna wait and play it next week. And I still have to finish Final Fantasy 16. Eric, tell me, I didn't get a chance to watch your review. Tell me where you came down on this game. pros and cons.
I watched
What are we thinking?
Oh my
That's
god.
pretty rude. I'm a big
Did you-
fan of.
I'm right.
Here, actually, 1 second. Hold on.
He's got
Okay, Logan.
He did a really good review too.
It was.
It's a great
They
review.
were both extremely well done.
I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of Compulsion
Oh,
Games.
all
I really
right.
like their games.
I mean,
so I was.
Are you one of
you-
only 5 people in the world with a We Happy Few mask on right
This
there?
is made of porcelain.
Okay.
Yes, I am one of 5. I really like Compulsion Games. I was really excited for this game. I was when they did their first kind of wave of acquisitions. Compulsion was my favorite one that they had. They being Xbox. I obviously won't get into spoilers. To be honest, my review is very, very light on. I don't actually. There's
Okay.
like no spoilers in it at all. I purposely did that. I don't like to give way
Yes.
too much detail in
I
my
appreciate
reviews.
that.
But just the Cliff Notes versions, I would say artistically, this game is an all-timer.
Incredible.
I would say
Nice.
musically, and not just music, but audio design. This game is like an all-timer.
Is
I
it going to
think
win
this-
awards?
I think it absolutely could win awards for art or for music, 100%. If it's not nominated, it's literally rigged. That the story is actually good too. The characters are good too. Obviously, story is a bit more subjective than. I mean, everything's subjective, but I think story, it's going to depend on who you are in terms of how much you like it. I would say at worst, the story is good. It is good. The game is relatively short. It's linear, which is some people could view that as a negative, but like with all the types of games we're getting these days, I think it's a positive, and I think it's a really good palate cleanser. We have Doom Dark Ages
Dude,
coming out.
crazy.
This is a perfect game to just play before that.
Nice.
It's a really
So
good timing for it
excited.
to come out. I think where it kind of falls short is the gameplay can become extremely repetitive, and the gameplay in general is definitely
But
not
is it
bad,
fun?
But
Is the fun enough to knock off the repetitiveness like Halo?
Well, I don't think Halo's
he said,
repetitive.
like it's a bad thing.
I wouldn't like. It's
It's-
tough
it's a-
because if I say it's fun, like it's not fun throughout. There is
Okay.
definitely towards the end of
Okay.
the end of the game when more of the same kind of loop was repeating and repeating and repeating. I say this in my review. I started to get like, okay, like we need to get through this. I've seen other reviewers who said that they literally went into the accessibility settings and turned combat off,
Yeah,
like
you
because
mentioned
they
that.
didn't want to do it anymore. Not because they had like a reason to, like
Mhm.
accessibility reason to. They just didn't want to engage with it
Gotcha.
anymore. Which it is cool that feature exists, but
Yes.
I did not turn it off. I played the whole game through on hard. I did every combat encounter. It never feels bad to play. I don't want to give that impression, but it's just very repetitive.
Got
so
it.
it doesn't.
It
like,
doesn't like evolve.
you're
It's a-
never like, oh yes, another fight like you would in like a Souls game, but it's not trying to do that. But at the end of the day, it is presenting this. It's putting these combat things in your path, and you have to do them.
Gotcha.
So it's part of the game.
Gotcha.
That's the fault. I ended up giving it an 8, which I think it deserves an 8. I think that's close to where it fell, like in Metacritic or OpenCritic. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Eric, what was the reasoning beside why you played it on hard? Is you just like to play games on hard? You don't want to do.
I
normal, too
honestly,
easy?
well, I do like to play games on hard. I would suggest everybody plays it on hard, because the only reason why I wasn't like pain from some of the fights at the end was because if you do put it on hard, you can't just press X and win. You have to actually like weave in some of the abilities and kind of think a little bit. It's not going to ever be a FromSoft game. It's not going to ever be Ninja
don't want it to
Gaiden
be,
or
yeah.
anything like that. But if you put it on hard, it's never going to be too hard. There's every single combat arena, every single one you walk into, there's a health pack right there. And they
Okay.
put that there on purpose. So it's never going to be overwhelmingly hard. You can adjust it on the fly too. You don't have to you're not locked into your difficulty choice. But I would definitely start on hard. And if you find it too hard,
Interesting.
obviously you can change it up. But I think that hard mode will keep you the most engaged with what is there. And there are boss fights too, which definitely like amp it up. And those are really well done, especially one of them, which you'll know when you see it.
Can you rebind your controls to anything you want, or are they only set presets?
You can rebind your controls to anything you want at a hardware level on Xbox. So I didn't look at it in the
Okay.
game itself, but you can do that through the
Yeah, with
Xbox
the- yeah.
OS. So you can do that
Gotcha.
for every game.
Okay. Oh, I just like to know if it's in game. Logan, where did you come down on this? What would you compare the combat to? What game can I expect this to be compared to
combat?
combat-wise? Is this going to be better or worse than breakable weapons in Breath of the Wild?
Honestly, for me, that's kind of hard to say because it feels a lot like
Sunset Overdrive.
kind of. Oh, well, I never played Sunset, so
That makes two of
Took
us.
away the movement in Sunset Overdrive and took away the guns. It's kind of like that, I guess.
this is a straight up hack and slash, but the combat in this is all very much just kind of like you've got one. It feels like how like in Batman Arkham games, the enemies will just kind of wait for you while you're engaging with one. Maybe one will come and attack you, but you got the counter. That's kind of the feel that I got when I was playing this. Now, and to Eric's point, and I think his criticisms of the game are valid. I didn't have a problem with the combat in this because it was the little bit of action that I got while I was engaging with the story for the game. Because I think that the combat serves a point. It's a very particular point, and you do need to complete it to a degree to be able to actually progress through the game. But I was actually looking forward to the next fight because I enjoyed the design around it. I didn't feel like it was something that overstayed its welcome. I felt like it was just, it was there. It was serviceable. But I went in for the story more than anything.
Nice. And where'd you come down on it? I don't know how would you score it? Or...
We don't really score.
Yeah,
it,
I know you
but
didn't score it. Yeah.
If I did, I would probably put it at a 9.
Wow. Did
I
you
actually
enjoy this more than Avowed or similar or just different games?
I think Avowed was better technically as a game, even though I think that Avowed
Really?
still played safe with a lot of its combat and design and stuff. But I had so much fun with the exploration aspect of Avowed.
Yes, I agree.
But when I look at South of Midnight in comparison to Avowed, and I see what they did with the design of the world, with the narrative that they told, with the stories with each of the cryptids, and the clear intent on telling a story based from the American South, and the music on top of that with the audio design and stuff, and the characters were just really well portrayed. I think everything in South of Midnight excelled better, except for the combat compared to Avowed. I think that I think South of Midnight is a much better story. It feels like someone telling a story around a campfire at the end of the night. Everyone's got a ghost story. All right, let's sit down, get the s'mores together. Everyone tell your scary story. Let's have a nice little camp out. And that's what it felt like. But the overarching story is its own kind of interesting growth with the character and her mother and stuff. And that's what I really enjoyed. That was the carrot on the stick, as I said in the review. The cryptid stories was the thing that I really enjoyed about it, though. The combat was oh, okay, I have combat. All right, well, I'll just do that until I get to the next part of the story.
For either of you, would Avowed or South of Midnight be in your top 5 games of the year at this point, do you think? Top 5.
Probably, but I think I only played 5. It was not be number 1. Split Fiction is miles away.
I'm just saying, do you think it's still going to be there by the end of the year?
I don't know. Probably not.
That's
It will be just out. It won't be far, but yeah.
Top 10 for both.
Top 10 for sure. I don't know about top 5 just because of what's coming out this year. But it's definitely one that just because it is such a short game, and they give you so many tools to make it easy for you. If you don't have time, you just want to know where to go. You just want to you don't even want to bother with the combat. You just want to experience it. They throw everything in there to basically say look, you have no reason not to play this. And
Gotcha.
I can't honestly tell anyone why they shouldn't play this.
Sounds good. I cannot wait to play. Diego, I know, is super pumped. We've been waiting for South of Midnight, available next Tuesday.
Now. Just pay
Available?
$9 to upgrade, man.
It is available now, but Verdansk. So I might, you know what, Eric? I probably should do that because I want to support the devs, right? Because I don't support them
the
when
devs.
I pay for Game
They're
Pass.
first party.
Yes.
You're already paying for Game Pass.
I can't wait to
Even money
play.
for the
I will
Switch.
say really quick that I think it's important to give them their flowers. 0 crashes, 0 bugs.
Oh, so
Entire way through.
good technical experience. Good
I
to
got-
hear.
I got
Did you wait? What
stuck-
did you play on? PC or Xbox?
I
Xbox,
played
both
on
of you.
Xbox. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think he did. Yeah.
I was gonna say one of you played on PC,
Yeah, it
right?
was Logan.
Logan
Yeah,
did.
okay.
Yeah. I got stuck in a collision thing and I had gets killed to reset. But other than that, the entire
Nice.
way, I had no bugs.
Speaking of that, guys, we got to give Xbox credit. I also didn't have any issues overall with Avowed. I had one thing didn't drop, but they did fix that in a patch. Other than that, I didn't have any crazy crashes. I played 75 hours in Avowed, and it played flawlessly for me. And I had like hundreds of saves because I'm one of those bubble boy. You know how it is, like a Skyrim. I'm saving all the time. I'm just like in Final Fantasy 16. By the way, they limit you to 50 saves. I've already hit that. Let's get Bacon involved with what have we been playing because apparently he's been a great listener. Okay,
I had
go
a
ahead.
question though.
Oh wait,
It's a-
Chance,
it's a
quickly.
quick one.
I have a question too.
Logan, in your review, you said you were playing at 1080p. Why?
Because that's the monitors that I own.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, perfect answer.
So he's
Okay.
playing at 1080, like 700 frames. But Jose, what was your
Sorry.
question?
My question was about: are there collectibles in the game?
Yes.
Are they easy? Can you find something to mark them, or am I gonna have to watch a guide?
You're gonna have to watch the guide.
You're gonna have to watch a guide. Yeah.
My second question is, and I am not an achievement whore like the rest of my co-hosts, but
That's not true.
You mentioned in your reviews that both of you ended, I think, almost at the same score. Is there any? Were you surprised by that? Did you think that you thought you'd get more achievements by the way you played? I'm just curious.
There's a lot of achievements for just doing like the main path. I was lucky that I found the only real thing you can find that is like, helps you in your gameplay is if you collect 3 of these special collectibles, it will upgrade your health. And I found all of those. None of them are hidden very well. So like basically the whole game is like the game says the path to get to the next beat is this way. But if you go the exact opposite way, there's something there to pick up. Like that's the whole game. So I just kept doing that and I found most of the stuff, but there is achievements for like, and this is just some behind the scenes stuff. When you're reviewing the game, you can't see the achievements until you unlock them. Like if you unlock one, it will pop up and say you unlocked the achievement. But if you go to your achievement list, it says achievements not supported. So you can't like see a list and know what they are. So it's just you just kind of.
So you can't even like if you wanted to go for 1,000, you wouldn't even be able to because you don't know what you need to do.
Yeah, like there's achievements for like doing like most of them are pretty easy, but there's some that are like using abilities in a certain way, and so like I had no idea that was an achievement.
Are you
And
sure
I
it
got
wasn't
some
just
of them.
because it was pre-release?
Yeah, that's what I'm
No,
saying.
that
When
is
you
exactly
when
why.
you are
Yeah.
reviewing the game pre-release, the achievements are kind
Jesus
of like
Christ.
hidden.
Sorry.
Yeah.
All right,
Right
Bubble
now-
Boy has
right now
no
you can
idea what's going
I was
on.
doing my best.
X Bacon Gaming. Let's get him involved. Let's wake up Bacon, everybody. Bacon, what have you been playing? Bacon was back into Verdansk. Tell us, Bobby Kotick got his ass again. He paid $30 to get the super battle pass for Call of Duty. Kotick has got him by the ball sack. Just come here, Bacon. Give me your
Well,
money, you
I
big
paid
boy.
the $30 to get the free tier skip so I could get the HDR, the sniper rifle, and then start ranking it up last night with Mike. We couldn't play Verdansk last night, so it's live today. So, but I finally beat the second boss in 33 Immortals. I'm gonna go ahead and put it down until the full release comes out. I got strong enough, and it was actually felt good. We got into it with 12 players instead of the 7 I've gone into it with before. Had a good squad, and we beat it. I got a good idea what the game is, and so I'll definitely be playing it on release. So then I got kind of bored, and I started playing Spider-Man 2, and I kind of love it. So
On PC.
yes,
It's a great one.
High
high
frames
frames,
gaming.
super ultra wide. New York looks incredible. on
He
this
still
one.
hates MJ. I hear she sucks still,
MJ
which sucks.
Such a life drain, bro.
I'm very
That's
mad
all.
that MJ sucks still.
But the combat in these Spider-Man games is just so good. Like there's times when I try to stay in the air for like 5 baddies and I'm just whacking them and throwing them all around, pulling the next guy up. Combat's great. A lot of the same stuff from the first one. It's the same crime missions and every block, the same car you gotta stop. and
Gotta
knock
pop
out
that
the
door off. You
windows.
gotta
Yeah.
dodge the bullets.
So I mean, I see how they pumped the game out as fast as they did because Insomniac are incredible at putting games out. So
It's true.
I'm looking forward to getting that platinum and me complaining about getting the platinum and then not liking the game later because I'm still trying to get that platinum. But it feels like everything's just clear the block, get all the outfits.
Let's ask Eric right now, Bacon. Eric, how's the platinum for Spider-Man? Easy? And Chance. You play
The
I
platinum
did.
for Spider-Man is absolutely perfect. You just do all the things.
Just clear the- clear the
Don't
territory.
find like nooks and crannies. Just do the side quests, which are all awesome because they all have like awesome story beats at the end that
Okay,
are worth
cool.
You got to chase
experiencing.
any pigeons.
It's a great game. And I won't say what happens, but the Mary Jane like moments that you like, because you played the first one, right?
I've just seen her around. Oh, the first Mary Jane, the first
Yes, I've played
Spider-Man.
the
Yes,
first
that's
one.
my first platinum, by the way, ever.
Also
Okay,
has
so
the
you yeah, like just like the first one, there are some small segments where you control her for small amounts of time, and they were bad in the first game.
Terrible.
They're awesome in this one.
Okay.
Bacon says they're still bad.
Well, I haven't played as her per se in any missions.
I think they're better than the first.
I hate
game.
her persona.
Well, they were really bad in the first one, so you can only get better. I got to tie in really quick here about this, guys. I've been watching the Spider-Man universe with my family. We are up to the Amazing Spider-Man. And guys, I'm watching the Amazing Spider-Man. We just started Amazing Spider-Man 2 tonight. You can clearly see where Insomniac was getting a lot of inspiration
Andrew
from
Garfield
those.
was great.
It's crazy. I'm like, am I playing the game right now in some of the sequences and some of the poses that Andrew Garfield does? I'm like, clearly Insomniac got a lot of inspiration from those movies because I saw them when they originally came out and it had been a while, and I'm like, Bacon, I'm like, do I buy Spider-Man 2 right now? Because I'm getting
PC.
I almost want to, but I'm like, too many other games. I'll get
You
to
gotta get to
eventually.
18 inches of Venom though.
No. Bacon, anything else that you've been playing?
No.
Bubble Boy, what about you? How's your update us on the Assassin's Creed journey?
I am still on Black Flag. This is going to be the first one I think I can't do in about a week, which is great though. I am trying to take my time a little bit more.
How far
with that
far
one.
into it are you?
I'm still in Havana, so
Oh snap! You
not
got some
ter-
rounds, bud.
yeah. I think sequence 2 still, honestly.
Oh, yeah, you're.
But I'm not rushing it. And I not that I necessarily rushed all the other games. Maybe I did a couple of them, but
the thing with Black Flag, Chance, is that you can easily clear out a lot of like the side stuff that's floating around there. Like it's a very small contained area, which I really appreciate. Minus the random stuff on the islands that you have to stop your boat. And
but
then
I'm
get
not
out.
doing any of that. I am
okay.
not achievement hunting for this one. For any of these, which has been a different way to play games for me. So that, and it's awesome. It's amazing. Obviously, I am, because I'm trying to look at it from such a objective point of view with that rubric. It is. I don't know that I love Edward Kenway as much as
I was
thought
just
I
gonna
did.
ask, is it as good as you remember, or not as good as you remember?
And I think part of the reason for that is because I was so much more impressed with some of those games that I thought I didn't like 3 and Revelations, in terms of what they did for character development and stuff. And so it's still early. I will say one of the things I'm positive I don't love is his first assassin. That outfit is stupid. I don't like it. I like how he got it. Like if spoiler alert for a decades old game, he killed an actual assassin and took it from him. But
you don't like that outfit?
No, I think it's really dumb. Especially having just played 3, which I thought was really, really cool.
It was 3 was really good.
good.
Well, good news. You have
more-
the DLC. You could wear Connor's outfit in this game.
I know. Yep. More importantly, I bought the pre-order, or no, what do you call it? Early access for Game of Thrones King's Road, and returned it within minutes.
Whoa! Breaking news, Chance. Look at this Edward
yeah.
Kenway statue. Holy
How could you hate
God,
on this, man?
dude.
It's beautiful.
dude,
Best assassin
that is
NA.
sick, dude.
Because I
That
don't
is
have
sick.
to listen to him, I think, and his face bothers me for some reason.
Can I ask you a question
I don't know
super
what it
quick?
is.
What would you do
Please.
with the drunken sailor early in the morning?
What would you do with a drunken sailor?
That is actually the only collectible I am going after because I don't have that.
You gotta
shanty
get
yet.
the shanties.
I have to have that, and I have to have that specific song. So
Early in the morning.
Okay, so I don't know if this is like the same as permadeath, but did we put the video out, Jose? I don't know if we did.
We have a short
I
on
haven't edited
Chance
it yet.
playing
My bad.
this
It's okay.
this Mobile
looks
game.
incredible, right? And it's this mobile game that I'm like, this is the best looking mobile game I've ever played. Because probably the only mobile game I've ever played. This looks amazing, and the character creator was so cool. And like I do with most RPGs that have a good character creator, is I always start with making my Geralt of Rivia looking guy, and I kind of flew through it because I just wanted to. As much as I like it, I wanted to get to the story and kind of see a little bit of it. I'll usually play like 2 or 3 hours and then go back and try a different character just to kind of see what I wanted. So I went back after a couple hours and it looked great. The story I was impressed. We're up at Castle Black is where it starts at. Hadn't seen any of the like memorable characters from the show yet, but still cool. I was hooked. Get back into the character creator, and I accidentally clicked on my knight that I had created, and I was like, oh, that's weird. It jumped right back into the game. And I was like, that can't be right. Reloaded it, got back in, and I was like, it locks you in. You cannot remake another character in the same class. So there's 3 classes. There's Assassin, Knight, and Sellsword. Once you make one in one of them, you're done with that class. From what I can tell from message boards and stuff, there is no plan to change that. It's not because it's early access. That's your character. And I'm drawing a blank. Nimbleworks, is that the developer? I think they were like, well, yeah, you could just sign in from a different account. And I was like, are you kidding me? What's the point of that? Why would I do that? And so for me, I'm sorry, it was a deal breaker. I had to send it right back. And
Shout out to Steam refund policy.
Exactly. I was just like, that's so dumb. I don't understand it. We can put a man on the moon, but we can't allow just delete the character. There's a little button on the bottom left that literally resets the game for you and reloads all the assets. I was like, oh, well, this has to do it. Took probably 15 minutes to do that. Nothing. Same guy. Still my Geralt of Rivia looking goober staring me in the face.
It's probably on the server.
It's stuck there forever, Eric. So I might go back. I probably will. I probably will if they say, hey, we've fixed that and you can create 1,000 characters, however many you want, or just know that you're deleting it for good when you delete it. That would be fine with me too. That wouldn't have bothered me. Or a hey, heads up, when you hit A here or select or moving forward, you are locked into this, you are done. That would have been a great PSA. So, and then what I bought with the money that I got back for Nissa will appreciate this was Wanderstop. And so I've only played about a couple hours of it. And all I'll say is so far, because it's not the typical kind of game I would play as a cozy game, I get what it's trying to do. I am finding myself wanting so much more from a musical standpoint. I was hoping for great sound, and I've heard hardly any sound yet. The characters don't talk. It's all dialogue, like text box and stuff, which I'm okay with. But that coupled with very little music it's got me worried a little bit. I'm like, this has to pick up a little bit in terms of music and stuff for me to really get into it. But see, so, and this is saying the music is good. I literally was sitting there at times like, I don't even hear any music. Like, where is the sound here? Where is the music? I checked my settings. It's not like I had it turned off or anything. So, but I'm looking forward to my journey there. So thanks for the pro strat, Nissa.
Shout out to Nissa. Shout out to Captain Logan. Not Captain Logan. Sorry.
Shout out.
Deja Vu. Shout out to Deja Vu. Sorry, I just read right after that. Deja Vu asked if any of us had dropped into AC Shadows yet. No, but Bacon and I have purchased it. Bought the deluxe edition, and Chance has apparently. There's too many games.
It was a birthday present from one of these guys.
Oh, shout out! So a lot of us have it. It's just got to be on the back burner. I gotta get through. We'll just talk about what I'm talking. Got to get through Final Fantasy 16. God, I hate that game. Then I got to get through South of Midnight, and then Doom, and then I plan on getting to Shadows. I won't dog on the movie Final Fantasy 16 anymore, but I will say quickly, guys, I achieved shit bucket status in 2 games this week. Jose shit bucket status. And
We don't have a
Absolutely
sound
right.
for that. I don't know what you want me to do that.
Oh, I know what it is.
Had to be Daddy D. Wally. Someone else might have gotten it wrong.
Very true. Guys, I got every achievement unlocked on Battlefield 2042 on Steam. So that
Genuinely
was the
impressed.
first.
Congrats,
Yes.
Very
But you
sorry.
don't care about those.
I was so close that I was like, you know what? I could do it. I had to extract from Hazard Zone 25 times. Nobody plays that game anymore. If you do, it's like 4v4. And I had to extract with 50 pieces of data. And then the worst one was getting a T1 badge. What's a T1 badge, you ask, or a vehicle? I had to get like 16,000 kills or objects. Just don't. I have a shit bucket. But anyway, then the other shit bucket status, Call of Duty. I have mastered prestige. I am now to this prestige where it's just like, we're just going to add numbers to whatever you are because I've done it 10 times.
It's insane.
So I have no life and I am pathetic. Jose, what have you been playing and or watching?
I'll just go real quick. I had a busy week. I jumped into the finals, had a great time. Definitely would love to play with Pomps and Eric sometime. Different kind of game, but
They
very
won't let you,
fun.
Jose, because
I
it's a competitive FPS shooter with skill. And Ayn said we need to be careful. So
Oh,
just
they
train
like
you,
me
man.
more than you because they already invited me. So that was really fun. Shout out to finals. I also did jump in a lot to Battlefield 10. Battlefield's great, dude. Fun game.
Jose was having a blast. He's reviving. He's capturing objectives. He's telling us how much he loves it. The tornado's coming in. He's picking us up. Incredible time in
It was a lot of
Battlefield.
fun. I also played a lot of Prince of Persia this week. I was kind of looking for something to play in
nice.
between because I wanted to get to South of
I
Midnight.
also purchased that, Jose.
Really like it, and I know Bacon was not as huge a fan. I don't know if I still have gotten to where Bacon got when he played his playthrough, but man, it's like tight combat, decent story. Bosses aren't too hard. I'm not playing it on hard mode. I just want to get.
What do you think about these jabronis saying it's somehow better than Ori in the Blind Forest?
It's definitely not.
I mean, I
Combat
don't.
is.
The story, I don't think would touch that story, but the combat it's competitive with it. Like I'm telling you, like as I've progressed further and getting some of the skills.
Is there a triple jump?
I don't know. I haven't gotten that far yet.
Okay.
So I don't
The
know. I
movement's
can't
also
speak about
really good in Prince of
Better than
Persia.
Ori in the Will of the
Yes.
Wisps.
Once
Okay,
you-
somebody
once
get
you
this jabroni out of here. Jose, put him on mute. I can't.
Once
I
you
can't hear
unlock
this anymore.
stuff, trust me, dude. I'll send you some videos.
I mean, I could see that potential. I'm not there yet myself. And then the last thing, just before the show, before I joined at 7:00 because I'm a good producer, I actually jumped into South Midnight. I did do the $9 upgrade and got to play about 25 minutes of it.
Whoa.
Didn't get very
Yeah.
far, but
No.
gorgeous, dude. And I'll tell you, like, again, I have a 4070 Super. I was hitting like 90 frames at ultra settings, 4K on everything, and it just looked gorgeous, dude. So I'm very excited. I'm going to play Verdansk most of this weekend, but in between in the daytime and stuff, I'm going to be playing South of Midnight. So I'm very excited, man.
Can we use our turtles in Verdansk?
Yes, we can.
Oh, thank you.
Hell yeah. A shout out to Dinero Promo. Dan, you need to finish Visage, you coward. And you need to stream it. I will. I promise. I'm saving it until spooky season next year. That's just going to be my spooky season. Is just to get through
Spooky
a chapter.
season started after
There's
St.
like,
Patrick's Day, bud. We're here.
all right, guys, let's
You never been to the
close.
Midnight?
But what about Logan and Eric?
They talked about South of Midnight.
Like
We
South
heard enough from them.
Midnight.
Yeah.
Played anything else?
South
Okay,
Midnight was
uh,
the big thing.
Yeah, Shadows.
Shadows. Logan, anything else for you?
No, I mean, I been mostly just working on the review. And
Are you dropping into Verdansk?
Yeah,
You playing
we're
more
doing
Call
it
of Duty?
tonight.
Okay.
We're doing tonight.
Let's close the show like we always do with the best food we had this week. Jose, I need you to pull up the ticker for me. I'll go quickly here. Please add one Little Caesars delicious bacon and cheese pizza.
Yep.
And Jose, it had been too long. You know where I went, Jose.
Oh, you
Burrito
dog.
Express.
That chicken for Popeyes, dude. I got 2 spicy chicken sandwiches, Jose. Holy shit, they are so good. Dude. There's nothing better than a Popeye spicy chicken sandwich, and I can't believe it had been months since I had been. It's insane how good those are. So that is hands down the best food I had this week. And also shout out to Costco Pizza at that fundraiser I was talking about earlier. They had like 500 Costco pizzas there. Of course, I had
Should have
like
just taken one home.
I had like 6 slices. I really should have. They had way too many. So shout out to Costco Pizza as well. Bubble Boy, what about you this week?
So I mentioned how we went to Maggiano's on Friday, so that would have been this week, right? Yeah.
Happy belated
which was-
birthday, by the way.
Thank you. Which was awesome. I got to give a shout out though. My parents got us a new Ninja coffee maker, so it does espresso. It does
Interesting.
like a coffee pot, and then it does pods also. So it's like a little bit of everything.
Nice.
And since I've converted to just straight black coffee in the mornings. I'm loving it. It's awesome. And I don't miss I used to just prefer creamer with a little dab of coffee. And now I like the real stuff. So that's an awfully hot coffee pot.
Bacon, did you have anything good this week?
All right, I found a pizza that's worse than Little Caesars.
Thank God. That's easy to do.
Papa Murphy's is a hot mess.
I told you, Papa Murphy's is so bad, dude. It is so
Okay, hear me
bad.
The New York
The
style?
pizza was terrible, but the 5 cheese cheesy bread you also bake along with your pizza was actually. So I gave the cheesy bread a 7. I gave the pizza a 4, and I love
4.
pizza. The pizza was terrible, bro.
So bad.
And then I was also looking for something for the podcast. My wife's always looking for new and interesting things to eat. M&M's has a peanut butter and jelly M&M.
Yeah, how is that bad? I'm shocked at
Awful.
this.
It is terrible.
I'm gonna have to
It
buy
is
these.
like
Can
the
I have
worst-
them? Can you bring them to
The
me?
worst preservative jelly you've ever had. Stuff. It is
I find this hard to believe, you guys, because peanut butter
Find it.
M&Ms are
Find it.
insanely
Peanut butter
good.
M&Ms
They're
are
the
great.
best.
When you add
Yeah.
jelly to the mix, it's not good. Try
Jose,
it.
Jose, I don't believe you. Erroneous on all accounts. Jose,
I don't believe you.
I don't believe me all
I didn't know
want.
you had that. I'm actually impressed right now, Jose. Shout out to the chat. Nissa said, I had Star Wars blueberry pancakes, and I love my new Star Wars pancake maker. Gentle Stone, I'm having a potato bacon cheddar tots for dinner in a while. Sounds incredible. Nissa Hauer, Cumberland Farms pizza, worse than Little Caesars by a lot.
And Papa Murphy's.
Deja vu. Why haven't I escaped a Los Doyos Portillos tonight for her B-Day? Barbacoa queso tacos on point. And Gentle Stone, as a New Yorker, anything not made in downstate New York just isn't. I know, Gentle Stone. I'm so sick of hearing that from you and from Colin and all these other New York, Long Island fanboys who tell me about how great pizza is. I'm sorry. We're landlocked here in the middle of the USA, right up against the Rockies. We don't have your special New York stinky water. We have
We have
fresh
mountains.
Rocky Mountain water. Okay? That freaking propels Coors and Bud Light. There's a reason why we've got all these freaking breweries out here. Jose, speaking of breweries, what was the best food you had?
I did not go to a brewery, but I also indulged.
Chicken at Popeyes.
Shout out to Zach Morris, my coworker, who forced me to eat on Friday. Well worth it.
Forced.
Yeah.
In addition to that, we also I've been trying to get better at making Detroit style pizza at home. It's getting better. Tonight was my best one. And a very quick update. I don't have the full review yet. I've been working my way through
The seeds. Let's hear it.
Yeah.
I got lemon pepper right here.
It sounds gross.
It's honestly not my favorite. It's
Yep,
at the
I do
lower
it.
end of the
Sorry,
list.
guys, it
I love
sucks.
lemon pepper chicken, so I thought I'd like
Yeah.
it. But I've been working through the playlist and through the flavors and doing a list and everything like that. So I will have a full review next week. But honestly, in terms of just general seeds, great. The packet size bacon, this is a win. This is like a great single session,
Good
You're done,
size
easy to
management.
carry around. Highly recommend the Smack and Sunflower seeds. So those have been the best things I had this week.
All right, Chef Logan, let's hear. What have you been making over there? What was the best food you've had?
I haven't actually been making a whole lot because I've actually been just working on the review. So I've been
Nice.
like getting kind of
Logan-
lazy. So
Also, are you moving this soon or after mid-year? What's going on with that update?
not till August.
Okay.
I'll be down, or I'll be in the Midwest.
Gotcha.
They want to call
The
it.
true Midwest, yes.
Actually, before you go,
Midwest.
Logan, can I ask both you and Eric? This is just a genuine question for the audience in case they don't. How many hours did you put into your review, both between gameplay and then video editing? I'm just genuinely
Oh.
curious what you guys put in.
Just tell editing and that because gameplay.
The game was like probably like 9 hours, 9 hours to beat it, maybe 10. Writing the review, that was probably two or three. VO, surprisingly was probably like 1 because I just had to do so many takes because I very particular, and I still think it turned out bad. Honestly, like I could pick out so many like cadence
Dan said.
things. Yeah, probably. Editing though took a while. Editing, it was like a 3-night affair, so maybe like almost as long as it took to beat the game.
Wow.
Dang.
And Logan, same with you?
I would say, well, so I had the game up for a lot of the time that I was writing it, so my time played is disingenuous, but I did 1.5 playthroughs, so probably close to like 15 hours. As far as like the actual play time goes, I would say script honestly probably at least a few 3 or 4 hours. Recording was probably about an hour and a half. Editing took me, I'd say maybe 3-4 hours in total.
Yeah.
So
It's no joke. Yeah.
yeah.
So thank your content creators. And Diego Primero says, I've always wanted to edit SG videos. So there you go. You got an editor right there. there.
We could use you, man. Talk to Ains. He'll hook you up.
Logan, so sorry, your food?
Oh, so yeah, because I was like, working on reviews, I didn't want to adult and I didn't want to cook anything. So I got a teriyaki chicken from like a local place. That's always fantastic. But I because this coming weekend, Luke Lore over at the Xbox Expansion Pass has to do something that he does not want to do. Similar to what I don't want to have to do with
I
Crocs.
don't want to.
So I ordered myself
Disgusting. All of it.
some Little Caesars pineapple pizza.
You got it?
I got it.
Oh.
I had it
It was on his story today. It was good, bud.
Oh, no.
I was eating some Little Caesars pineapple pizza today.
Oh.
And
I like
was,
pineapple pizza.
Oh, all right. Ban these guys. God, get
You're
them out
just
of
living
here.
your best life, right? You're like, what could go wrong?
It was I'll be honest, it was not great pizza.
It's because
It's because of the pineapple. No, it's because of the pineapples.
No.
It's not the little C's.
I had good Hawaiian pizza. I live in California. We have good Hawaiian pizza. It's just Little Caesars. But yeah, it was.
That was the last time we saw Logan on the show. So
Yeah, we didn't even do our perma bans this week. God dang it.
But no, I had that. I wanted to eat it for the meme because I know Luke's gonna have to do it. So I figured if Luke is gonna have to do it, then I'll do it as well too. Even though it's not as much of a burden because he likes his Batman Crocs, and I will not.
He's
enjoy
getting off easy. You having to wear hideous Crocs is absolutely insane.
Did you
Those
order your
dude,
Crocs, Logan?
Logan, those Batman
No, I
ones,
didn't. I don't want to.
dude, those Batman ones are so ugly. I can't even.
Video's cool though,
Dude.
man. The video's cool.
He did a good job on the short.
Just heinous. Eric, take us home. And by the way, Deja Vu. Nis, I need you to put Deja Vu on a 24-hour permaban from the channel. He said pineapple's the best.
Permaban
So
for 24
please get him out of here. Definitely.
didn't say on
I
pizza.
need
He
you to
just
mod Diego. I do not like pineapple. My wife loves. Oh, wait. No, not base Diego. I thought you said you were going to say you don't like pineapple on your pizza. Pineapple in general, delicious. Pineapple on pizza, absolutely
Terrible.
heinous.
Yes.
Permaban. Pineapple on pizza is my permaban this week. Absolutely disgusting. But guys, breaking news before I throw it to Eric. I had no idea this is a real thing. The Naked Gun is coming back with Liam Neeson.
Oh, snap.
Insane. I need to go watch this trailer
He has a
ASAP.
special set of skills.
Eric, what was the best food you had this week?
I did a little preview. I had a JVC just to remember what it's like.
Oh no! Don't tell
Have
me you
one.
put pineapple. Is this what you were talking about earlier?
No, I had not
I
on
think
a
they have
JVC.
pineapples at Wendy's.
I thought you
There's-
put one on a JBC. I could have swore you did that.
No.
Or
There's a burger
you threatened
place-
us.
No, I wouldn't put on a JBC. Bro, there's a burger place that's called Cheese Curds, and they have awesome burgers there. And there's one called a Honolulu burger, and it does have a slice of pineapple on it, and it's pretty freaking good.
I can see that being good.
It is good. I'll send you a picture. I think I did send you a
Yeah,
picture.
you did. You
It's
did. You
pretty
did.
good.
Looks good.
But anyway, I got a JBC just to remember what it's like and try to imagine what 8 of them would
Can
be
we
like.
do it? I don't know, Eric. I'm getting afraid. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I will tell you that I will not quit. So whatever happens, happens. Whether I can or I can't.
We're not quitters. Dang
we're gonna
it!
find out. But I did order the combo number 8, the home style chicken fingers. That's the best thing at Wendy's.
What the hell is he talking about?
Wendy's has chicken.
Chicken fried fingers? What the hell?
What do you call
I don't
it?
know what they're doing in
Taters?
Canada.
Canadian
Wendy's?
Wendy's.
What
must
is
have-
going on?
Do chickens
I don't
have fingers?
Anyway,
No.
gentlemen, this has been the Nerd Chat episode 205. The Switch 2 is just an Xbox One. My name is Daddy D. Wally. You can follow me at Daddy D. Wally across all social media. You can follow the show at the Nerd Chat Podcast on social media. Shout out to Bubble Boy. We've got like 10,000 subs over on, what do they call it over there? Blue Skeet? I don't know. Whatever is. You skeet over there. Our shorts have been popping off thanks to Jose over on the Gen Zer site with TikToks and the YouTubes. And speaking of Jose, where can people find you?
You can find me Chipotle Bear everywhere. Huge shout out to both of our guests tonight. Logan, thanks for joining us last minute. Same thing with you, Eric. And that was originally my GGs for the week, was to go shout out their reviews. Make sure you go check them out. I mean, again, really, really well edited.
Awesome,
I know
awesome.
Eric said his voiceover was bad. It was actually great.
Yeah, it's
You guys
probably
did fantastic. So go check out those reviews. I also was going to shout out Chance for our very first review in a very long time with Sniper Elite Resistance. You can check out that short as well. Definitely looking to just keep growing stuff. We're at 367 subs, so we're like almost at that 400.
400, and we're there.
100 away from our big event with the
So,
team.
are you sure, Jose, I shouldn't have that India lady sign us up and give her all of our information to get us subs?
Give her
and edit our
Eric's
video?
information to start.
Yeah,
And then
to test
I
it.
could use some subs. Just throw it out
so
there.
see how that goes there. No, other than that, man, just thanks to everyone in the chat. Always great to see everyone. Happy Thursday. Go play some games, dude. We're now officially in that high season.
Dude,
There's
it's
gonna be some
insane.
great stuff,
This is
dude.
insane. And think about Summer Game Fest. Oh my God. X Bacon Gaming. Where can people find you?
So I decided to take about half a week off from Twitter and hung out in Blue Sky a lot more.
Oh.
It is way nicer over there, but then the Switch 2 thing happened. I had to go back to Twitter to see how bad it was getting dragged, and it got dragged pretty bad. So you can find me at either place, hanging out, chilling, but I'll be playing Spider-Man.
Shout out to the chat. Nissa wanted to say, my GG is for Tegan from Lightweight Gaming. She has been sick for so long. Shout out. Prayers up. Hope
She's
she
not
gets...
a pony either, so that's what makes her cool.
They're converting
She
her.
likes Xbox.
She did. And Bubba Boy and 7, where can people find you?
I was hoping people could find me dethatching my yard this weekend, doing
I
the
gotta
old
do that
power
too.
rake. But if it keeps snowing like
What
this,
did you
I'm
say? D what? D what?
dethatching.
You don't
What the hell's
detach your
that?
lawn, Dan?
It's
No,
all
I
the
have no
dead
idea.
blades of grass that are hanging out.
What are you doing, bud?
Yeah.
I've never heard of this.
We live in a
That's what
society.
Logan
Yard
says
looks
he
like-
doesn't know what
I went to his
do.
house a few months ago and his
Yeah,
lawn
but I
was
live in California. We have beaches and cement, so don't
Yeah.
come at me with that.
My
Yeah,
grass actually
dethatching
looks
is-
great
And
during the
it's,
summer.
It's insane. You could dethatch. It's basically a mower that gets all the way down. It doesn't mow. It doesn't cut, but it like gets all the
Expose
the
dead
That's
grass.
undergrowth
right.
of it so that they can
Oxygen.
grow and prosper.
Sounds like a
important.
bidet for lawns.
It's
Sure.
very
Yeah.
important.
I don't
that's
know,
fair.
man.
Never done it. I don't. What machine do I need to do this with?
A
You use an
dethatcher.
actual
Dethatcher.
I'm gonna have to
detaching
Google
rake.
this.
Use an electric one from Amazon. That's exactly what I have. You
Me too,
plug it
gentle.
in.
Exactly.
You have to
Shut
be
up.
real careful with
Sun
it.
Joe.
But, a Sun Joe. That's exactly what I have. Yeah, it's green. It's
I
awesome.
might look into one.
But I might be, I don't know, shoveling or some shit instead.
No,
I
it stops
don't know.
snowing already. We're good.
But it's supposed to snow again tomorrow. So what the?
Damn it.
Yeah.
Dan's looking up this.
I'm looking at this.
right now.
Looks like you could get Dethatcher shoes, and it's way cheaper.
This is like another
25
lawnmower. Why would I get this?
Yeah,
I
it
don't-
is very important.
All you city boys have
Detach
such tiny yards. You probably
Yeah,
could.
I
do the
got 2
shoes.
acres.
Yeah. See, that's a real.
Get yourself some dethatching shoes, and then you'll just suffer while.
So it's just poking the ground.
No,
No.
it's you should see it,
Dead
man. You could
grass.
go over the same spot like 10 times, and
Yeah,
you
it's
could
crazy,
get a
Dan.
bag
You get
of grass.
full bags.
It literally has a tine cylinder, it says, with little spikes on it, and it's just.
Dude, I'm the least manly.
I've never
man
done this,
I
and my
know,
grass
and
looks
I
great
know
every
it.
year in the summer, so I'm not doing this.
Yeah,
Speaking of grass,
fair.
Captain Logan, where can people find you? Oh, by the way, Logan, thanks for coming on. I know we were giving you a hard time about Nintendo. You do you. I have no problem. I'm just like right here, like whatever. Nintendo, you do you. Vote with your wallet, people. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
No, I
Nintendo's
agree.
giving you a better Switch. You either buy it or you don't. And all the people complaining, they're going to buy it and they're going to pay $90 for all these games. So who cares? Go ahead, Logan.
Well, thanks for letting me come on. I saw the cast of characters here, and I wanted to jump in because I know you guys have really good conversations. I'm very grateful for the praise that you guys give me on the review. I still don't think that it was as good as it could have been. Even Eric was like calling stuff out, and he's like, "Hey, there's this little bit here," and I'm like, I know it's bugging me so much. And I talked to Luke, and I can't get it fixed. But it's really nice to be able to come on and talk with you guys. It feels like a family here, so I appreciate the conversation. So just keep an eye out for XEP, where Luke is going to have to suffer this weekend and eat some pineapple on pizza, and it's going to be hopefully fantastic and amazing as we continue to work towards our fundraising for SGF. So
shout out. Thank you, Captain Logan. Shout out to Diego Primero says, Jose, when people do your yard, do people ask you how much they charge like they do me? Is this like a Mexican racist thing, or is it because your grass looks good? Okay. All right. Sounds,
Ain't nobody asking me that.
Sounds good. By the way, I'm on Reddit right here, and it's saying, should I get a dethatcher? I read a lot about the benefits. I also read about how unnecessary and how it's a bunch of crap. So there you go. Eric, where can people find you, and do you dethatch your yard?
I do not dethatch my yard. I don't think that's a thing in Canada. We just have good grass no matter what. It just
it's always
just a great, beautiful country I live
there. It's a lie. He has two seasons. He has winter and construction.
True.
Yeah.
That's Toronto. That's you can find me on Twitter, Game Positive YT. You can find me on Blue Sky, Eric Bizanson. Please check out the review for South of Midnight over on Season Gaming. A lot of work goes into it, and check out the one on XEP as well. His is like almost double the length of mine, so double the work probably.
Jose,
just check them out. I appreciate that Jose asked us the nitty gritty on what goes into it. A lot of work goes into it, and this is not our day job. This is like volunteer work, basically, just because we love video games.
Yeah,
and we really appreciate anybody that takes the time to listen to them or watch them and give feedback and click on the thumbs up button and leave a comment.
Yeah, smash that like button. Guys, seriously, thank you both for being here. Thank you to the chat. Somebody said it picks up the dead grass.
It is so important to do
my lawnmower can do that. My lawnmower literally sucks up dead grass. So I'll just go over it with the lawnmower and I'm dethatching. As always, regular lawnmower and lawn care owners.
Idiot.
See you online.
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 See you on Verdance line.
See you online.
Enough with the showboating. What do you mean? They like it. What they came here for? Dancing packs. Okay, simmer down. I said simmer down. That means you did it, called.
Sorry.
The Nerd Chat is an Xbox podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. You can follow the show at the Nerd Chat Podcast across all social media. The show was created by Daniel Walenzik, and you can follow him at Daddy D. Wally. Co-host and producer Jose Martinez III can be found at Chipotle_Bear. Former intern, now co-host Jason Jarrett can be found at XBaconGaming. And former co-host, now returning intern, Chance Siegel can be found at BubbleBoyN7. If you'd like to find out more about the show, please visit nerdchatmedia.com. And as always, see you online.